Okay, so let's get this video going. So, this is what the person saw in the previous video that I did. She saw that it was labeled Hobo stoves, asked me what it was, and then everybody else caught her comment, and they've all been asking me what it is too. Oh my God, my hair. Sorry, guys. I get up awful early around here, starting to do chores and stuff before the storm's coming in, and this is the last thing I do. Anyway, so this is what she saw, the tub that she saw in the closet. Now, Hobo stoves, they have a huge history on them. I will tell you more of that as I'm getting into making the stoves. So, it has to be a can, okay? It has to be a metal can. Now, I find all my cans at the Goodwill. They can be these little cans. They can be these little cans that have the candy. And this is what it looks like on the inside when you're done, okay? It's got the wick. You see that? This is what it looks like on the inside. This one I need to add more wax, all right? So what you're gonna need, I'm using, you would think I would have a pan specific, sorry, my speech is starting to mess up already this morning. I don't have a specific pan. I need to go to the Goodwill and get me a specific pan to melt the wax. I don't have one. So what I did was I used a metal meatloaf pan, and I have water in it up to here. And then I have these throwaway aluminum pans, and I save wax. Even these icky candles. So I have that in here. So this is going to go inside the meatloaf pan. I'm going to put it low on the burner. Excuse me, to start getting this wax melted, okay? So the supplies you're going to need is, you're going to need a can. You're going to need scissors and cardboard and a wick. I have a lot of these wicks. I keep them on hand. I will put the links to these wicks in the video description, and I get these off of Amazon. There's a lot of people that are like anti-Amazon these days, but honestly, I can't do without them. We live so far away. It doesn't help us financially if we go to the store to get this stuff, and I can get it the next day. So, and I know why everybody's anti-Amazon. I agree, but I can't do without this because it would break us to go get these things that we need. Okay, so those are the things that you need, and you need wax, melted wax. So let me get the wax going, and I'll be right back, guys. Let me get it going here. Okay, so I don't have the pan on the burner yet. I'm going to wait a minute because I don't want to be over here cutting cardboard and letting that wax go on the stove. That is like a major accident waiting to happen. So the wax is still sitting here on the table. Okay, so what you're going to do is your cardboard cannot be taller than your metal tin. Okay? Cannot be taller than that. And when I do mine, I make the cardboard just a little shorter so it sits on the inside. So I'm going to be doing that. Cut that down like that. And you just cut. It's easier to have a long piece than multiple short pieces, okay? You can always go back and add more if you want. Get down, Jerry. Get down. Get down. Okay, so now what you're going to do, Jerry, get down. You're going to start rolling it. Now, I've got my wick. This is a new package. So these are the wicks. So I'm going to take a wick out. They have a little, oh, there we go. Oh, it's a self-sealing bag. How exciting. So if you don't have the little metal on the bottom, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So you're going to set this in this inside, and I'm going to cut this about here. And I save the part of the wick that I cut off, because I make my own candles and stuff. Okay, so when you put that in there, it's going to be standing up just like that, okay? Oops, 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 oops. Okay, so on this cardboard is the blue paper when it was sealed shut. You want to peel that paper off. If there's any tape on your cardboard or this little blue paper, pull that off. You don't want a fire. I mean, you want a fire, but not like a crazy fire. So make sure you pull that stuff off as best as you can. Doesn't have to all come off. See, I got most of it off. Okay, so you're going to start at the end of the cardboard. You're going to roll it really, really tight. Have it rolled really tight with each other. See that? And you just keep it going. See how tight that is? So that's all you're going to do. So you're going to lay it on the table, and you're just going to start rolling it. And the tighter that the cardboard is, the longer the fire stays going. And you're going to need probably more, because once you get this rolled up, see how big the can is? It's going to need to fill that whole can. Okay, so you're going to roll it up. Jerry, no. My cat is interested. Okay, see how tight that is? That's how tight you want it. And you see that how the holes in the corrugated cardboard are? That lets the air in, even though you're going to pour wax over it. It really helps these little things stay going. Okay, you see that? Now you're going to be taking another piece of cardboard and starting where this ends, rolling that up as well. So let me get this other piece of cardboard out. Okay, so I got this cut. It's the same as this, give or take. Doesn't have to be perfect, just has to fit in the can. Okay, so where this ends, that's where I'm going to start the new row, okay? Now when I start the new row, I kind of put this under it a little bit, just for something to hang on to, okay? And you're going to start rolling. Okay. See that? Now that is not, so I've got to go get more cardboard and keep it rolling. Okay, so I got more cardboard. Okay. Now, you're going to want to have a little air in it, because all the melted wax, you're going to pour it over this, and you're going to want wax to go into all the little nooks and crannies. So see how big this is? See that? When I put this inside the can, it's going to open up a little bit. which is okay. It's perfect. It's perfect. You can't mess this up, guys. So I'm going to put this in. See that? That's how you want it. Okay? Then you're going to put your wick down in there. Actually, I should have done this. I should have done this before. So let me take this back out. Okay, so the wick, gonna go through the bottom. Put that in there. Okay, there we go. Okay? You want the wick in the center. And if there's any cardboard sticking up over the top, either cut it down if you're able or just shove it in. Okay? Okay. Now, you can buy Hobo stoves on Amazon also. They're called Hobo stoves or rocket stoves. And everybody thinks they're like this new deal. No, they're not. They're called Hobo stoves because the hobos, when they rode the rails and things like that back in the 40s, whatever, 30s, 40s, whatever, 50s, they used whatever they could find to put together a stove to cook with, a light source, a heat source. So the term hobo is just because that they've used bits and pieces of things that they have found on the ground. So that's how you get the name hobo stove. Now the rocket stoves, all the stuff you can make these. You don't have to buy them. Don't waste your money. Don't waste your money on things that you can make. This is just a can, a cardboard, and a wick, and some wax that I saved. And I know most of you ladies, you save wax. Doesn't everybody save wax? I mean, when the candle doesn't burn down anymore, you've got that little bit of wax. I scoop it out, I put it in a big baggie, and I use it for my hobo candles, or I use it to light fires outside when we're burning brush and stuff. Okay? So that's where the term hobo or what else? Let's see. I'm looking here online. So they've got them on Amazon. Yeah. They're called hobo or rocket stoves. Now the rocket stoves you make out of a couple old soup cans, stuff like that. I like this. It's just a can with wax and cardboard. Now, a lot of you are going, well, what do you use this for? Well, like I said, you can use it for lighting. You can use it for heat. If you put a terracotta pot over it, it puts out a nice amount of heat. And I have you can use any type of, you know, the, what are they called? The little metal things that sit in the pan you put a chicken on and stuff, the grates or whatever they're called. Find something like that and put this over it, and then you can set your pot on top and you can cook your food that way. I have these in all of our bug out bags. In our backpacks, I have at least 2 in each backpack. And I have 4 or 5 in the house. Our sons take these when they go backpacking, or when they go on the rivers. You know, they swim up, they go up on the rivers a lot and they hunt. They take these when they go. You don't want to carry around a big lantern. Flashlights are heavy. Flashlights take batteries. These last a long time. Now, when I first made these, I had a video out. I think it was one of the first videos I ever made. I might have deleted it because it was a little hokey and it was the first one I did. We let it go. It went for 26 hours and it was the size of this. So this is what it looks like with all the wax poured on it. Like I said, I have many different sizes. You don't have to put just one wick. You can put more than one. And I have two, excuse me, I have two wicks in this one. You can set these in your windowsill for lighting. You can set them on a little cast iron trivet on top of your wood burning stove or on your mantle. They're good for lighting also. And they do put out a little bit of heat. Like I said, they do put out a little heat. Let's see, this one here. This one here, now I have used this one because you can see the wick is burned. So I have used this one before. If I have any leftover wax, I'm going to add it to this today because this needs just a touch more wax. And to put them out, you just put the lid on. That's it. Okay? So when I go to the Goodwill, I specifically look for these little candles in the can. I don't care if it's the full candle. I don't care if it's just the wick left. I snag these cans. And I got these two the other day. So I'm going to be using this as a candle. And then when it's done, I'm going to turn it into a hobo stove. Okay. And these wicks, this is the name of the wick. They were like, I don't know, $7, something like that. Not bad, not bad. You can buy all the wick on the roll if you want to. That might be a little bit cheaper, but it doesn't have the little metal thing on the bottom, which you do not need. You really don't need the little metal thing on the bottom. Okay, so I have the pan. This is kind of like your double boiler kind of deal. So I'm heating up the water, and that's going to slowly melt the wax, and then I can throw these away because I don't need to save them. Or I don't know, I could save them and use them again, who knows. But you do not want to have just wax melting on your stove. That won't work out well. You'll start a fire. So if you have a wax melter or something like that, you can use that. But right now, this is just what I'm using. And I'm using my lowest burner that I have. So it's basically just going to heat up the water. The water is going to heat up these little throwaway pans, and the wax is going to start melting. I hope I have enough wax. I think I do. So once it starts melting, then I'm going to bring you guys back. Let me show you what it looks like. And I just use all different kinds of wax. I take the wick out, and I save whatever there is. Okay, guys, so it's starting to melt. I did have 3 of these little pans in there. I only needed the one. And look how fast that's melting. All with a homemade double boiler. So it's going pretty quick. Okay, so I added another short piece of wax, and I took out the wick from the bottom. I find a lot of candles at yard sales and Goodwills and stuff, and you can get a big bag of them for $1 or $2. So I took out the wick. It was this piece right here. So I just didn't know if it was going to be enough. So I'm going to let that melt. It's going pretty good. Just keep an eye on it. Keep your kids keep your kids away from it. Okay, guys, it's all melted. So you're going to hold it with a heat pad or a towel or whatever, and gently and slowly, can you see that? Pour it in. Might get a little warm. I'm going to make sure you get all of it around the back edge. There we go. And I have a little left over. I can finish this one. I don't think I have enough, but whoops. Okay. And remember, it's very, very hot. This will burn you, and keep your children a safe distance back. You want to pour it in there slowly so the cardboard soaks up the wax. Can you see that? And you're just going to let it cool. That's all you do. And it's pretty cold in my house right now, so it shouldn't take long. But that's it, guys. That's the Hobo stove. So I think I'll light one to show you. Let me see, which one do I want to do? I'll show you what it looks like. Well, that's lovely. Well, that didn't work well. Now see this one here? This one's here. It's already turning white. The wax is already turning white. Now this wax, it's just candle wax. So when you light it, it doesn't overflow. It starts to dissipate, just like a regular candle. And these things last forever. They go on and on and on, and you just blow them out and put the lid back on. That's all it does. If you make some type of a little grate, whatever you can find, just to put over this, keep it open so the flame goes through, but make a little metal cage kind of deal, and you can put a pot on it and you can cook a meal. We have something that I found that's in our bug out bags, and whatever you want. So that's what that looks like. There you go. Oops, wrong one, wrong lid. Where's the lid? Okay. So can you see that? See that, how it's turning white already? It's getting cold enough. This one is starting to turn on the edge. So that's it, guys. That's the Hobo stove. Very easy to make. If you have a bunch of cans, do not use glass. Has to be something fireproof. I don't use, the main reason you don't use glass is because it's too heavy. It's too heavy to put in your bug out bag, and you don't want to take a chance of it breaking and cutting yourself or something. So only use these little metal cans. And these are everywhere at the Goodwill. I found them in the aisle for the holiday decorations. And they're also in the aisle near vases and stuff like that. And in the candle section. But they're very easy. The ones that are empty are like 50 cents. So that's that. So I'm going to put the lid back on this. Get that wick up. This wick is laying down a little bit. There we go. So when you pour the wax in, make sure your wick is up, not drowning. See how this is? This is up. Okay. So that's it, guys. That's how you make the hobo candle. Thanks for the question. Hope you learned something. Have a cool day, guys.